It was the last night before Emperor Shunzhi became a monk. Xiaozhuang knew very well that the reason why his son became a monk is mainly because of his beloved woman, Dong Erfei, first scholar Shun.
Is it because of his beauty? Is he more important than the Qing Dynasty?
Mother, you are saying that women are like grass for the world, but the evil concubine only has one profit.
Cure this? Just set his heart's double shadow first, when the emperor suffering, when the emperor tired, when the emperor really too suffer, this court full of civil servants. Palace maids, eunuchs see the emperor who dare not kneel to him.
With me, my son is apparently the king of all saints. In fact, I am a loner, only the evil consort. She never treats me as the emperor, she treats me as her brother.
Like a big sister who not only soothes my body but also my soul.
We often cry together, but also often laugh together under the sky. There is more than this close to the person she is, pouring the world's closest person.
Xiaozhuang are angry to see the two of us fall into the water. You will not hesitate in the slightest.
I am not your family, an ungrateful thing.
Shunzhi, see that the words have been said on this, then I might as well tell you my second childhood shadow. Where I am, what the emperor I clearly is the cross river monkey, in my most need to care about the beginning of life. Even a mouthful of mother's milk are afraid to.
I cannot drink on my 6-year-old ascension to the throne. The world's beacons suddenly rise in the palace to kill chickens like ambush mother. You have to follow the power minister Dorgan in order to save our family life. My son no longer mentioned these, but what is that?
I witnessed the most ugly deal in the power field at the most innocent age. I live every day under the authority of Doyle Roll and watch you make up your mind and beg for your life what kind of man I am. So after my son took power,
The first earth-shattering thing is to pick Dorgan out of the grave. Will be his body flogged to drain the hatred, thrown to the bone. But then what I still want to give him high into the Phoenix Temple.
Xiaozhuang is helplessly rational, mature and realistic, and Shunzhi is eager for the affection he has never received, and even dares not have the slightest extravagance.
After all, he has done your royal wife. No matter how this is a fact, without him you cannot ascend the throne.
Mother, don't you think that this sacred hall is hiding absurdities?
John, what is called ridiculous?
If you assume that he is my royal father,
Is it not the same as saying that our mother and son killed both the so-called royal father and your so-called husband and killed the mother twice?
this is how the human tragedy in Xiaozhuang eyes. This is all for granted because it is all for the status for the Qing Dynasty. Experienced the last conversation with his mother. Shunzhi know that the emperor does not have love. The emperor does not love the emperor. No one cares the emperor. No one cares, only rolling responsibility. Only the harem beauties divulge anger.
Mother, Fulin, do not want to do this, Emperor. I cannot do this, Emperor.
Xiaozhuang, the whole person is confused.
You are ridiculous.
Shunzhi,
You do not
Iron
forget
Heart,
that you are the
since you can
founding
then
king
bring
of
the
the
crown
Qing
hard on my
Dynasty.
head. I did not give you 6 grandsons. You pick one to bring them. Hard crown is not done. Xiaozhuang poof, kneeling behind the sun.
Son of Foremother, in front of the ancestors, to your knees. Foremother, please do not leave me behind.
Shunzhi held the pillar and looked back, and Lian Meng knelt down in front of his mother and said he had no more meaning to live.
If you don't allow your son to become a monk afterwards.
You go kill your son.
Xiaozhuang stood up as if he was being told the truth. This woman wants to kill her own son.
No, Flynn. Smile and pretend that I've loved you and spoiled you and coddled you all my life. But now I hate you and hate you and hate you.
I'll send you on your way. I'd rather you die than sorry for your ancestors to come. Medicine, Mother has prepared for you.
No, tomorrow your highness will announce to the world that the Shunzhi Emperor is suffering from a malignant disease and will hang your portrait in this room.
Right after Doyle rolled below Shunzhi, kowtowing to the waist is planning to drink the son of Xuan, Knight rushed in to break the bowl to pieces.
Grandma, you can let your grandchildren die, but don't let Huang Ama die.
Seeing the son and grandson begging to die and live, Laughing Makeup can no longer stand, a head fainted. Laughing Makeup woke up and pulled the Xuan Knight on, asking,
Xuanye, what did you see in the Phoenix Temple, Xuanye?
Xuan Knight hesitated for a moment. Xuan
Son didn't see anything.
Knight open-mindedness encouraged by the smile makeup. After all, we say so with anyone outside the small.
Grandmother wants you to tell us what you saw in the Palace of the Phoenix.
Xuanye thought, as if to say no longer see, it is not appropriate.
I report to my grandmother that I saw and heard everything in the function hall.
Well, that you say is your father right, or your grandmother right as a child? I cannot answer such a question. Xuanye hurried eyes to help the mother.
Empress Dowager, Xuanyi is still young. You should not force her again.
And laughing makeup know that death not only to say, and it to say through the heart of a child, cannot hide a big secret, hidden for a long time, will become tasteless, may become a trauma that affects his life. I still count on him as a good emperor.
If she can't figure it out, it will always be a mystery, and she will never be able to step over the threshold.
Little Xuan Nightbrush on the knees.
Son saw Huang Ama, but son felt that Huang Ama should not become a monk.
Laughing makeup nodded. Child, then you saw me feed your father poison, right? You think the emperor Zong.
Grandmother really wanted to tell you to die?
No, the grandmother wanted to save Amma and would never let her die.
Auntie Zuzu has
Clinging
this
to
word
each
from
other.
her grandson, and your grandmother's heart will be at ease.
Little Xuan Knight, you can think so. The throne will be stable on the other hand. Sony took the smile makeup of the autograph letter to find the monk who fooled Shunzi to become a monk's master. Qing Yifu Wang Yu Lin Shu. He told the old monk now the palace is in trouble. Want to ask the master to come out of the mountain, otherwise the monks and lay people will be in constant strife. Old monk but repeatedly refused to say, you this royal thing I cannot manage. Sony was forced to pull out the smile makeup of the autograph letter.
Master, I should have come to ask you personally, but I really cannot leave. I have never begged anyone in my life.
But all the ones I've begged are basically dead.
Polgit.
The old monk took a look at the good guys. This does not laugh makeup.
Master, our filial piety, in order to ask you to give up the respect of the Empress Dowager, new enable the name of the family history of the mother. This is why she is in front of the master, will be reduced to a commoner which...
The old monk could not help but old monk for a while on key. Top smart people over the move to the point, Xiaozhuang. See, the old monk will go straight into the subject of your sect. Out of a monk, abducted my son Shunji to enter the empty door. You say this is the old monk listened to, not.
Laughing, that is the new monk's delusions of grandeur. I think the emperor will definitely not promise.
Conceal, you say, you think wrong old monk. Listen, immediately changed his mind. That is the emperor's own hiccups, meaning filial piety.
I think the Empress Dowager will definitely not agree.
Zhuangxin said, this is not nonsense. Of course I will not agree, but the emperor lost his beloved concubine. All thought her...
Crying and shouting to become a monk. This once the word gets out that the world is not a big mess. Xiao Tianyi.
I think this is a little bit of the old monk's face. I'm not saying that you monks are not good. And I also know that Sakyamuni Dharma people are the origin of the emperor is also your monk world's leading, but the emperor does not have to be a monk.
Did the emperor become a monk? He only counted as a fortunate thing.
The old monk is an understanding person who told Xiaozhuang that the emperor was not a blessing but a curse when the emperor became a monk. The civil and military ministers hated it and said the Buddhist children and abducted the emperor.
In this way, the imperial power and religion will not solve the incomprehensible hatred of the Empress Dowager. Our new monk confused old line is not confused and dare not confuse the matter of the stakes. Old line understand.
Xiaozhuang looked at the old monk, really has an eye, so that they do not have to force, only need to negotiate a good price.
I always thank people first before asking for help, Master. I think only you can save the emperor.
Otherwise, so you will use Buddhist regulations to persuade the emperor to give up the idea of becoming a monk to do.
Amitabha Buddha, I received the order.
Xiaozhuang bowed her head and made a wish that if things were done, the master did not know what requirements did not.
You said no, I was not worried.
Yes is no, and no is yes.
Filial piety, natural seconds to understand why the old monk and I this hide and seek it. And the royal business requirements can be bad. To mention the high seems to be in the blackmail. To mention the less is not to give the royal face well that I give you scratch to the bar.
This matter, if you can end well, Master. You can save the country and save the people of the feet of the imperial court to express the world. Will you live in the Master's sect again? Established as the authentic Buddhist sect, you grow the temple
Forever enjoy the royal incense, Master, not to hide from you that I, Xiaozhuang, is also the practice of Buddhism, is a person which...
The old monk looked at the treatment to give a good natural, but also with Xiaozhuang assurance.
If this matter does not end well, I will become a pure earth.
The old monk went back to persuade Tusun Xingxian, you are not stupid.
If all the people in the world become monks, who will support them?
The monk said, 10. Move to burn the torch. I persuaded the emperor has used 18 years of silence. Cost is too high now. See the great things have been. How to lightly give up. Old monk looked at his own butcher. Sun Xing monk, you are not stupid.
I ask you to the general public, to the emperor or Buddha, big look.
Of course, the Buddha is the great world. People only look at you.
See the emperor worship Siddhartha Gautama? Never see Siddhartha Gautama. Worship the emperor. Ah, that is, I used to lie to you. In fact, the imperial power is real. Buddha is false. You think Xiaozhuang is to talk business with me? It is to make a request.
Ah, if I do not take a stand, is the Buddha's disaster. Ah, but the monk is bent on the line.
Like blackmailing the emperor to make the court Lao cassock, you want to force me to clean up the
monk is a king's
Buddhist
hunchback
sect.
with an iron
no
heart.
No matter how the master Bodhi line monk, this heart will not change.
Stubborn can be more than a monk on the other side of the Shunzhi has cloaked, ready to leave the house. Just at this time, 2 teary-eyed hanging knight came.